Advent of Code 2024, Day 4. We have a seemingly random grid consisting only of the capital letters X, M, A, and S. In part 1, we want to count the number of times that Xmas appears in the grid, horizontally, vertically, diagonally, as well as in reverse and with overlapping letters. For the horizontal search, we can make use of Python's count function, but this won't generalize to the other directions. Instead, let's realize that the only difference between the directions is the order in which we index the grid. We can write the vertical search using a nested for loop like this. Make sure to cap the range for the row indices, so that we don't go out of bounds when building the string. To adapt this to the diagonals that go to the right and down, we also need to increment the column index by I. Once again, make sure to also cap the column range. For the diagonals going left and down, we need to decrease the column index by I instead. This works, but it uses a lot of repeated code. As a last step, let's turn this into a single function called search, which receives one argument, dc, which is the column direction and can be -1, 0, or 1. The row direction will always be 1, so we don't need an argument for it. For readability, let's do the range adaptation using an if statement. And that's part 1. For part 2, we want to find all X-shaped strings that say mass. If you think about it, there are only 4 different variations in which this can show up, so let's just write them all out. If you happen to use NumPy, you could also use rotations to make this more concise. We again use a nested for loop to go through all 3x3 blocks and simply flatten the resulting string. We would like to see whether it matches with any of the patterns we wrote out above, so let's flatten them. But there's still a problem. They use dots as placeholders, whereas our string will have letters that we don't really care about. Luckily, in regex, dots are also used as placeholders, so we can simply turn our strings into a single regex by chaining them together with vertical bars. Then we can call the re.match function. That's part 2.